Lady Chapel, built in 1270 in the early English style. We made no extra charge for showing you the Lady Chapel, ladies and gentlemen, but I would like to draw your attention to this collecting box. This is for the Dean's new security system, which has just been installed in the cathedral. So if you kindly put your contributions in this box, we come to the tomb of our founder, the Blessed Bishop Og, 1213 to 1280, and no photographs in the cathedral, sir, unless you pay a special fee to the Dean.
Yeah.
£3. Well, above the tomb can be seen the saint's cloak. This cloak has hung there for 700 years. It has only been taken down once on the occasion of the 600-year celebrations in 1880, when it was used in a pageant depicting scenes from the life of the saint, with costumes specially hired for the occasion. Since Bishop Og, there have been 50 bishops of this see. The 51st holder of this office being the present bishop, the Right Reverend Dr. Cuthbert Heaver, D.D. Stop mucking about with his own. Incidentally, Dr. Heaver is at present engaged in building a home for the clergy widows of this diocese. A collecting box for this scheme can be found by the west door. Now, if you'll follow me, ladies and gentlemen, to the crypt. There is an additional charge of 2 shillings, so kindly have your change ready.
Hello, hello. Oh, hello. Is that the Gazette? Well, I want to speak to Mr. Hutton. Oh, it is Mr. Hutton. How do you do? This is the Bishop of St. Og's here. And I wonder if you could help me about my Heaver House, the home for the clergy widows of the diocese. Yes, we're having a little trouble collecting the... yes, well, we want about £2,000. I can assure you that a barrage of prayer has gone up from every church in the diocese. But I thought perhaps you could... Oh, I see. Well, perhaps if the dear lady does not have her triplets this morning, you could mention it in tomorrow morning's paper. Would you be so kind? Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm back, my lord.
There you are, Newt. How did you get on with Lady Hawley?
Oh, she was most kind, my lord.
Oh, really? What did she give you?
A cup of tea and some nice chocolate cake.
Newt, I meant money. How much money did she give you?
Money? Oh, that was rather different, my lord.
Yes, somehow it always is. Oh, really? I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got no one else to turn to.
Well, the Dean, my lord.
No, you can't turn to the Dean, Newt. He's already spent a fortune on that new security system of his.
Oh, no, lord. He's promised a donation of £25. He told me after evensong yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
You know, that news quite heartens me. But it won't make much difference, will it? I don't know where I'm going to find £2,000, Newt.
Well, we mustn't forget the power of prayer, must we, my lord?
No, of course not, Newt. Though if the answer is to be in any way helpful, it should not be long delayed. What have you got there, Newt?
Oh, the afternoon's post, my lord.
What is it? Bills. What is this? A letter from America.
Oh, is it from Alistair Cook?
Of course not, Newt. Now, let me see. It is from Mr. William T. Stratton, Museum of European Culture, Houston, Texas. My dear Bishop, on a recent visit to Europe, I was fortunate enough to visit your beautiful cathedral and admire its many treasures, among which I was particularly interested to see the cloak of your founder. Cloak? What cloak's that?
It hangs above St. Og's tomb, my lord.
Really? Well, I've never noticed it. We here at Houston, thanks to the munificence of the late Mrs. G. Samuel Guggenheim, a deeply revered former citizen of Houston, are opening a new ecclesiastical department of this museum and should be happy to purchase this treasure from you if you are agreeable.
Oh, but we couldn't sell St. Og's cloak, could we, my lord?
Oh, of course not, Newt, of course not. I don't wish to appear rude, but these Americans really do think that everything is for sale, don't they? We should be pleased to offer you the sum of $25,000. That is approximately £10,000 sterling.
Oh, Moses.
My dear Newt, it seems our prayers have been answered.
Oh, you mean we can sell the cloak?
Well, of course, Newt. We shouldn't hesitate under the circumstances. The Lord moves in mysterious ways, Newt. We should remember that. Oh, to think Heaver House is going to be finished at last. What splendid news. And you know, Newt, someone who will be more pleased than anyone else.
The builder, my lord?
No, Newt. The Dean. You see, I only want £2,000, so I should be able to give the Dean £8,000 for the cathedral funds. Oh, I can't wait to see his face when I tell him.
Hello, the Parish and Dogs, Bishop. Oh, hello, Mr. Hutton, yes. Oh, how very nice, I'll tell his lordship. It's Mr. Hutton from the Gazette, my lord. He's run special to tell you that a lady at the infirmary has just had triplets, and they're kind of him.
Oh, really, really do. Get me some. Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that, Mr. Hutton, but also I have something to tell you. Our troubles are over. Yes, thanks to a generous American who has offered us a great deal of money for a minor treasure in the cathedral. Oh, a cloak believed to have been worn by St. Ogg. Yes, yes, our prayers have indeed been answered, haven't they? Oh, and offer my congratulations to the good lady, will you? And, of course, her husband. Goodbye, Mr. Hutton, goodbye.
Anyone at home?
Yes, come along, Henry, dear old friend.
Oh, hello, how are you, Archdeacon?
Good afternoon, Newt. Well, Bishop, I finished it.
Finished what, Henry?
My contribution to the fund.
Oh, but it'll be no longer necessary, Archdeacon.
Newt, that's very kind of you, Henry. Let me see what it is. Well.
Oh, well, what is it, Archdeacon?
Well, it's knitting.
Knitting, Henry, but I mean, what's it for?
Well, it started as a bedspread, Bishop, but I ran short of wool.
What are you going to do with it now?
Sell it to you, Bishop.
To me? What for?
Well, it'll make a very nice cushion cover.
Oh, I'm sorry, Henry. No.
Oh, what about you, Newt?
Oh, well, I'm afraid I haven't got any cushions in my room.
Well, what do you say to making it a very nice carpet?
Carpet? Oh, well, I suppose I could, really. Yes.
Yes, very nice and warm to the feet.
Oh, yes, that'd be nice. But how much is it, Archdeacon?
Oh, what, to you, Newt, £5.
£5?
£5? Are you going to charge £5 for that, Henry?
Why, isn't it enough, Bishop?
Of course, it's far too much, Henry. Nobody's going to pay that price.
Well, Mrs. Hayward very nearly did. She was writing the cheque.
Yeah, but Mrs. Hayward, what was she going to use it for?
Oh, to cover the budgie at night.
Well, what made her change her mind, Archdeacon?
Well, Canon Hayward came back unexpectedly.
Oh, but never mind about that, dear old Henry. Come along and sit down, because I have got all the money I wanted.
Yes, an American museum wants to buy St. Ogg's cloak, Archdeacon.
Oh, what, that thing over his tomb?
Yes, that's the very same, Henry.
Oh, well, I suppose there's no harm in selling it.
Oh, well, Henry, just you wait till you hear what he's offering.
Yes, £10,000, Archdeacon.
Now, what do you say to that, Henry?
Well, Bishop...
I think I know what you're thinking, Henry.
What's that, Bishop?
I think you're thinking that our prayers have indeed been answered, aren't you?
No, Bishop, no. I was thinking they might be willing to buy us as well.
Oh, there's the Dean.
Good afternoon, my lord. The door was open.
Of course, Dean. Come in and sit down.
Thank you. Newt, good afternoon, Archdeacon.
Afternoon, Dean. Want to buy some knitting?
Oh,
Knitting, I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, well, it's the Archdeacon's contribution to the fund, Dean.
Oh, how fortunate you are, my lord, to have friends around you who rally round in time of difficulty.
I am indeed, Dean, and if my chaplain tells me right, you are among them.
Alas, no, my lord, I have to disappoint you.
Well, what do you mean, Dean?
I've been going through the cathedral accounts with the chapter clerk, and it seems that the new security system has cost rather more than we imagined.
Well, Dean, would you like to hear some good news?
Frankly, my lord, I should welcome it.
Then read this letter. What do you say to that, Dean?
It's a most generous offer, isn't it, Dean?
Possibly, Newt. But of course, it's quite unacceptable.
Unacceptable?
Well, even you, my lord, would hardly contemplate selling one of our most precious relics.
Precious? I wasn't even aware of his existence until today.
That hardly surprises me, my lord.
Oh, well, really, if it is so precious, Dean, why do you leave it hanging about up above his tomb?
Because it was placed there on the 23rd of June, 1280, at the time of Bishop Ogg's interment.
Well, hasn't it been taken down since?
Only once, my lord, in 1880, for the sexcentenary.
The what, Dean?
The sexcentenary, Archdeacon. There were celebrations.
Really? I'm not surprised.
It was used in a pageant, showing scenes from the saint's life.
Well, I wonder it didn't drop to pieces.
Considering its age, it is in a very remarkable state of preservation.
Well, the clergy widows of this diocese are not. They have worked far too long, far too hard, for far too little money, and they deserve this home. And if by selling this cloak we can give it to them, we as Christians should not refuse to do so.
It would be a betrayal of trust.
What do you mean to say you do refuse?
Certainly, my lord, it is out of the question. You will write to this gentleman and tell him that the cloak of the blessed St. Og is not for sale.
Oh, are you going, Dean?
Yes, I have work to do.
Ah, yes, Dean. I expect you will be going to telephone your insurance company.
Why do you say that, my lord?
Well, if the value of this cloak has gone up so steeply, no doubt you will wish to increase your insurance cover.
I cannot afford to increase the insurance.
Then you may be forced to accept this offer.
Certainly not.
Oh, but surely, Dean, with a precious thing like that in the cathedral, underinsured, isn't that rather a risk?
There is no risk.
No risk? What about the danger of theft?
You forget the new security system, my lord. Nobody can get into that cathedral. There are heavy-duty rim locks and mortise locks with hardened steel rollers in all the bolts on the outside and the inside doors. And even the boiler house has a close shackle padlock with heavy padlock bar. The cathedral is impregnable.
Well, you seem to be very confident in your system, Dean.
So I should be, considering the expense.
Oh, but surely, Dean, if we both want the money, wouldn't it be more practical to sell the cloak?
I'm sorry, my lord, it's out of the question.
But the builder's threatening to take the men off the site.
I am sorry, my lord.
But what can I do?
We must none of us forget the power of prayer. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
And a fat lot of use that be.
Oh, my lord, how could you say such a dreadful thing?
Oh, because, Newt, we've all prayed. I've prayed, you've prayed.
I certainly have.
Even old Henry here's prayed. But what's been the result?
But our prayers have been answered, my lord.
Yes, Newt, by a miracle. And that stupid, bigoted pillar of reaction, he refuses to see it. What can I do, Henry?
Have a glass of sherry, Bishop.
Very good idea, Newt.
Yes, of course, my lord.
Oh, really, the aggrandizement of a man saying his cathedral's impregnable. Do you know, I don't think I ought to say this, Henry, but if a thief were to get in there tonight and steal that cloak, I shouldn't be entirely sorry.
Why don't we, Bishop?
Well, of course we can't, Henry.
We would not take anything.
Oh, I see. You mean break in to show that it's possible?
Yes.
What a very good idea, Henry. That would show him that the cathedral was not impregnable, wouldn't it? And it might force him to sell the cloak.
But, my lord,
What, Newt?
it is impregnable.
Oh, yes, I'd forgotten that.
Well, here's your sherry,
Oh,
my lord.
thank you very much.
And here's your sherry, Archdeacon.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, I'd better write a letter to that dear Mr. Stratton and throw his generous offer back in his face, I suppose. Oh, well, take it down, Newt.
Well, not now, my lord.
Why not?
Well, I'm just going to evensong.
Oh, all right, Newt, all right. We'll do it when you come back.
But I won't be back till after 7 o'clock, my lord.
Why not?
Well, I'm going to stop and hear Mr. Perry. He always plays until closing time on Wednesdays.
Oh, very well, Newt, very well. We'll do it in the morning.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, I'll just be off then, so I'll, say, goodbye, Archdeacon.
Goodbye, Newt. Oh, Newt.
Yes?
Don't get locked in.
No. I'll try not to, Archdeacon.
What did you say, Henry?
I said he mustn't get locked in, Bishop.
That's it, Henry. That's the way to do it.
What do you mean, my lord?
The way to show him that the cathedral is not impregnable. Newt, at locking up time, you'll stay in the cathedral.
No, the Vergers would never let me, my lord. They always make sure that the cathedral's absolutely empty before they lock up.
Well, you must hide.
No, I wouldn't know where to.
Well, find somewhere, Newt. Choose your initiative.
Well, and then what do I do?
You wait until 9 o'clock. Then you open the door in the Lady Chapel and let us in.
You mean you're going to steal St. Og's cloak?
Of course not, Newt. As soon as you've let us in, you run round to the deanery and tell the dean that the Archdeacon and I want to see him inside the cathedral. Oh, that ought to do the trick, eh, Henry?
He certainly should, Bishop.
Splendid. Off you go, Newt, or you'll be late for evensong.
No, I couldn't, my lord. And you shouldn't ask me to either.
I am not asking you to, Newt.
No, aren't you? Well, who is then?
The widows of the diocese, the clergy widows, Newt. Those underprivileged, underpaid army of the church, they are asking you. Tell me, Newt, can you refuse?
Excuse me. Sorry. I beg your pardon. Sorry.
The plugs, I said it was the plugs, but They said it was the distributor.
Oh, yes.
You all right, sir?
Yes, thank you, Father John.
We'll be closing in a minute, sir.
Well, I'm just listening to the music, Father John.
Sounds better down there, does it?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Well, I must be going now. Good night, Father John.
Good night, sir. Bishop's been overworking that lad. So anyway, they took the distributor to pieces, you see.
Oh,
And
that's it. Lock up. Home for tea.
too true, Dennis, too true. And they couldn't find anything, didn't they? Distributor. So I said to them, it's the plugs.
So, what did they say?
Well, this young chap, he said it was the carburettor.
Oh,
So they started to work on the carburettor, but look at the way these lads have left these surpluses. Untidy bunch.
yes, you better see Mr. Parry about it in the morning.
I will, don't you?
So, was that the trouble?
No, of course it wasn't. No. So I said it was the plugs, but they still wouldn't have it, no. They said it was the electrics.
Yes. So, then what happened?
Well, they went right through them, but they found nothing.
Oh, yes, and was that the trouble then?
Oh, no. I said again it was the plugs, and then finally they agreed to look at the plugs.
Oh, really? Yes. So, what happened then?
Well, it was the plugs.
Oh,
Yeah, not the plugs. Yeah. I said so all along, you know. Those your shoes, Dennis?
They must belong to one of those choir boys.
Well, they know they're not allowed to leave private property in here, don't they?
So, what you going to do? Put them in the cupboard?
No.
So, did they apologise?
Oh, yes. Didn't stop them charging me £5.10, though.
Oh, it's that. Come on, Henry. Wake up. It's time we were going.
Bishop.
Yes. Newt will have the door open by now. So it's impregnable, is it? Oh, this is going to be a nasty shock for the Dean, isn't it, Henry?
It certainly is, Bishop.
Now, where's Newt? Newt!
I expect he's gone to get the Dean.
Well, he might have waited till we got here. Still, never mind about him. Let's have a look at that cloak that's going to get us all that lovely money, Henry. Now, where is it?
Up there, Bishop.
Up where?
Up there, above the tomb. Can't you see it?
No, Henry, I can't. Can you?
No, Bishop.
Oh. Henry, look! What are these steps?
And the gate's open.
Henry, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm afraid I am, Bishop.
But who on earth would want to steal it?
Well, yes. Nobody knows the value of it.
No, of course. Oh, Henry, yes, I did. I told Mr. Hutton of the Gazette.
Oh, what a journalist. Oh, Bishop.
Oh. What was that? The thief's still here, Henry. We must apprehend him.
Oh, do you think that's wise?
Oh, why?
Well, he might be dangerous.
Yes, of course he might, Henry. What was that? Quick, Henry, hide! Here, behind the door. Look around. Oh, down. Wake up, Henry. Come on. Up you get, up you get. Oh, you're not the only one, Henry. Oh, dear. He must have been an ugly-looking brute.
Well, did you see him, Bishop?
No, I did not, Henry, but I heard him breathing. Oh. Listen. The door. Dance. Good morning, Dean.
Morning, my lord. My lord, Archdeacon, what are you doing there?
You may very well ask. We were locked in.
Yes, all night.
By who?
A thief?
Thief? What thief?
A thief, Dean, that has stolen the cloak.
Impossible. I locked it away myself.
You did when?
9 o'clock last night.
What were you doing in the cathedral at 9 o'clock?
Your remarks about the insurance had worried me, my lord. I decided to take no risks.
Oh, well, it must have been you that locked us in.
Yes, you said he was an ugly customer.
I certainly locked this gate, my
Well,
lord.
will you certainly unlock it and let us out?
Yes, of course, my lord. But tell me, why didn't you speak to me?
Well, because I thought you were the thief.
I told you, my lord. Nobody can get into this cathedral. It is impregnable.
How do you think we got in here?
I must confess that puzzles me, my lord.
By the simple trick of staying in the cathedral at locking up time.
You stayed in the cathedral?
Well, of course I didn't. Newt did.
Well, where is he now?
I'm the faintest idea. Oh, is that you, Newt?
Yes.
Newt, where have you been?
Oh, well, I was locked in the robing room all night in a cupboard, my lord. One of the guards just let me out.
Who locked you in?
You did, Dean.
You seem to make a habit of this sort of thing, Dean.
Newt, I'm sorry, but if you will play such an ill-considered and stupid prank, you have only yourself to blame. And if I may be forgiven for saying so, my lord, the same thing applies to you and to the Archdeacon. Now, Newt, kindly give me that cloak off.
Here you are, Dean.
Just one moment, Dean.
What is it?
Do you think it is safe to put it back?
Of course it's safe, my lord. I told you yesterday there are heavy-duty rim locks and mortise locks with hardened steel rollers in the bolts on the inner and the outer doors. And if you wish to be told about...
Nevertheless, Dean, 3 people got into this cathedral last night without your knowledge.
By a trick, my lord.
A trick familiar to every common thief.
Yes, anybody could do what we did, Dean.
Yes, if they were stupid enough.
It's rather disturbing. I shall have to reappraise the security system.
Oh, no, I shouldn't bother to do that, Dean.
What else can I do?
But wouldn't it be simpler to sell the cloak, Dean?
Sell the cloak?
Oh, yes, Dean, yes, you see, with the money you get, you can afford to insure the cathedral properly.
Oh, very well. I suppose you are right, my lord. I agree to sell the cloak.
Oh,
Thanks.
splendid,
You'll
Dean.
never regret it, Dean.
I shall always regret it, my lord. It's heartbreaking to think of the blessed St. Og's cloak leaving the cathedral after 700 years.
Oh, but wouldn't St. Ogg be pleased with being sold in aid of the clergy widows, Dean?
No, Newt, he would not.
How can you say that, Dean?
Because in the 13th century, my lord, the clergy were unmarried. I must go and see the Chancellor. You will send this to the museum, my lord?
Oh, of course, Dean.
I couldn't bring myself to do it. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Let's have a look at this thing that's caused all the fuss. Fancy anybody wanting to pay £10,000 for this?
Well, it is rather remarkable to think, my lord, that it was actually worn by St. Ogg himself.
Well, yes, I suppose it is. It seems very well preserved.
Oh, yes, isn't it, my lord? It really is. Oh, look. Oh, look, here's a label, my lord.
A label?
Yes, a 13th century label. You don't often see one of those, do you?
No, you certainly don't.
What does it say?
W. Clarkson, theatrical costumers, drawing... Oh, Moses.
What does that mean?
They must have sent the wrong one back, Bishop.
Oh, yes, during the celebrations, Archdeacon, of 1880.
By the sex celebrations.
The sexcentenary, Henry. Now, why should they do a thing like that?
Well, I expect they got overexcited.
Oh, well, what can we do about it? Nobody's going to pay £10,000 for this.
No, Bishop.
Really, what a disappointment. After all we've been through, the discomfort and the privation, and then the wretched thing turns out not to be genuine.
The ways of the Lord are certainly very mysterious, aren't they?
On occasions like this, Newt, they certainly are. Now, let's go and have some breakfast.
Yes, a very good idea, Bishop.
Well, what are you going to do with the cloak, my lord?
Oh, well, I don't know. What do you think we ought to do with it, Henry?
I've no idea,
Put
Bishop.
back the cloak! Put back the cloak, my lord!
Oh, but do you think we should, Dean?
There is no longer any need to sell it.
Oh, that's lucky.
What do you mean, Dean?
I've just seen the Chancellor, my lord, and he showed me this headline in the Gazette.
Must Cathedral lose treasure for £2,000? Oh, dear.
My lord, have you any idea how the Gazette got hold of this information?
Well, yes, Dean, I'm terribly sorry. I'm to blame, Dean. You see, quite inadvertently, I told Mr. Hutton on the Gazette.
Then you have saved the day, my lord. The Chancellor is already inundated with telephone calls of offers of help. They are starting a Save the Cloak campaign. There is already a queue of tourists at the west door anxious to see it. We must put it back at once.
Oh, yes, Dean, but do you think we can?
Of course, my lord, of course. The money is already raised. Lady Hawley herself has offered £2,000. Please put the cloak back at once.
No, Dean, I'm sorry, I can't.
Well, then, if you will not, my lord, I shall. Now, Newt, help me. Help me.
We mustn't.
Hold these steps.
Because the cloak, you see, it's
Will you be quiet? Silence! This is intolerable. Am I to have no support?
Oh, Dean, really, Dean, you must let me tell you about this cloak.
Must I remind you, my lord, that the cathedral and its contents are my responsibility?
Oh, well, of course, if you put it like that.
I do, my lord. I do. There. Now, what have you to say to that?
Nothing, except
Except what?
that the ways of the Lord are even more mysterious than I had ever imagined.
I do, Bishop.
And so do I, my lord.
And so we come to the tomb of our founder, the Blessed Bishop Og, 1213 to 1280. What are you doing up there, Mr. Beasley? Above the tomb can be seen the saint's cloak. This cloak has stood there for several